We're joined on the Fancast today by a brand new Lion. He's been officially a player at the club for less than a week now. Jackson Paine, welcome to the show. How are you settling in? Is it hit home that you're a Brisbane Lion now?
Yeah, I think it's just about getting to that stage now. It's hitting home, and obviously coming from Victoria, it's a bit more of a bigger deal that I'm moving up there. So, but I'm really excited. I think from just about when the offer was sort of pitched to me, I got really excited by the idea of heading up there, and so yeah.
Can you tell us how that unfolds, Jackson? Because obviously from the Lions' perspective, all we've heard is players wanting to leave and they've been homesick and wanting to return to their home states, but we sort of haven't heard it from the other end. How does that trade get pitched to you, and what was the process from then?
Yeah, well, I think it's as you say, it's well documented how much sort of kids want to go home, but the other sort of side of the coin to that is that a lot of kids also want opportunity, and they're in the AFL system to be playing AFL, and obviously this year at Collingwood, I was happy with my year, but it just didn't eventuate that I got much AFL opportunity. So the idea of moving to Brisbane was sort of pitched to me. I sort of got really excited by the idea, hoping that there's potentially a bit more opportunity and, just a fresh start and a fresh set of new eyes that, will hopefully hold me in good stead.
The Lions have a new senior coach in Justin Lepich who has quite a good reputation in developing key position players. Did the opportunity to play under him excite you?
Yeah, definitely, and I've spoken to Justin since sort of committing to the club, and he sounds like he's really got the best interests of a player like me at heart in terms of his emphasis on sort of player welfare and things like that, which obviously from my point of view is pretty important, making a pretty big change in my life, etc. So, definitely sort of talking to him has made me really get even more excited for the coming years.
There's probably a lot of guys at the club at the moment in your sort of experience range, I guess, Jackson, sort of key position players, second, third and fourth year. What will you have to do to get a senior game, I suppose? Like, what have you been told by the coaching staff?
Yeah, well, I think my first sort of, goal will be I've had the shoulder reco over the break, so just get that right and then really take the steps from there. I know it sounds sort of a bit cliched, but yeah, just really get my fitness up. And for example, I'm going, heading up this week, and I haven't even been at the stage yet of running yet, but just heading to Arizona with the boys more, just to get to know the boys and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just going to be a big thing for me. Those first introductory steps to might not be able to do too much physically, but yeah, put my best foot forward in all other elements of the club, I guess.
You're coming from probably the biggest club in the country in Collingwood, in an AFL mad town, to I suppose the battlefront up in Queensland, where rugby league is still the number one sport. Are you prepared for that shock of AFL not being everything, and I guess being away from the limelight? And does that excite you a little bit? Yeah,
to be honest, I'm really interested and excited to see what it is like. It obviously gets talked about a lot, but AFL's huge down here. I'm well aware of that, but I'm really interested in many ways to see what it is like in Queensland, because you have got that competition of the NRL, which is massive up there. But yeah, I haven't got much experience up in Queensland, so to be honest, I'm interested to see how the dynamics of how the state works, and see how a state works without AFL being the primary sort of interest, because I can't imagine it being any other way, being a Victorian boy born and bred.
And not just the sports, obviously, Jackson, but the size of the club. Dom just sort of touched on there. Collingwood's probably the biggest and richest club in the country. The Lions have obviously, it's well documented, they've been battling and still requiring money from the AFL to help them out with facilities and coaching departments and whatnot. What are you expecting, I guess, from facilities standpoint, and have you seen much at this stage?
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't been up there yet. Haven't been up to see the facilities, but I guess from a player's point of view, like I said before, I think, opportunity and, be able to play AFL is a sort of a thing that people hold in a higher regard over sort of facilities. And, it's great at Collingwood that they have a great fan base, and, there's support coming out of its ears. But I think just as important is the culture of the club and stuff like that. And, I think made a move into a club which has a pretty strong sort of culture, and an exciting time, I think, for the club.
Have you had the chance to chat or meet any of your new teammates yet?
As yet, I haven't really, no. I don't really know anyone actually up there at the moment. I knew a couple of boys from my draft year with, Billy Longer and Sam Doherty. I knew them. a bit, but apart from that, not really. So I think that's part of the excitement as well, that, it's a bit of a challenge and, get to know some people that, to be honest, I haven't met before in my life.
Very fresh start indeed, isn't it?
Correct, yeah.
Mate, well, can you tell us, I guess from the injury standpoint, then you said you're coming back from your shoulder reco, like what's the stages that you're at the moment? When will you be able to run, and what's the sort of process from there?
Yeah, so I'm hoping towards sort of the back end of the Arizona trip I'll be able to start running again. It's obviously, you've got to put your patient hat on a bit with the shoulder reco and, just take it pretty slow. But I'm really happy with how it's coming along. It's sort of feeling really solid, and surgeons and physios alike are, giving me the tick of approval with how it's going. So, yeah, it's sort of, I'll start getting back into running sort of mid-November, and then it's just a stage-by-stage process from there with, getting back into weights and then obviously physical contact training and obviously leading into games. So, yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with how it's going, but, yeah, a bit of a patient hat on for the moment.
Obviously, a major on-field talking point for the Lions for a few years now has been trying to find that replacement for Jonathan Brown, which we haven't been able to just yet. I'm just wondering, do you see yourself being able to fill that void as a key forward, or do you think you're going to end up more as a third tall up forward?
I think in talks with the Lions guys, I guess one of the things that I disliked with Collingwood was that the way they saw me as sort of that third tall forward. I really want that opportunity to be able to, try out for, as you say, that Jonathan Brown role and really jump in his pocket and learn everything he knows about it, about that sort of role, because that's, to be honest, that's where I sort of see myself as, and that's where I see my strengths, most closely aligning to. So, yeah, that's sort of how they've pitched it to me, and that's exactly what I sort of want to do with my football as well, I guess. So that's what made the Brisbane offer all the more sort of appetising, I guess.
Well, I guess with that in mind, at Collingwood, you're stuck behind Travis Cloke. Was there anything you took from him, or anything were you able to learn much in the couple of years sitting behind him at the club? Yeah,
I definitely learned a lot from Trav. He's obviously, I think, nothing changes. I think he's one of the best at his craft, at what he does. I think he's one of the best in the league, if not the number one. So, a lot of things about the way he went about his business I'll take from him. But, again, it was that thing that Collingwood didn't see me exactly in that sort of frame of mind in terms of, that big key forward. So I have my limitations there. So hopefully, Brisbane have a different sort of way of seeing things, and, I can work really closely with Jonathan Brown and see how he goes about his business.
I put out to Twitter that we were getting you on the show, and I just want to get one question from Twitter. Sean wants to know if you're worried at all about adjusting to life without your family.
Oh, it's obviously a massive thing, and I think it's been well documented about the Lions, sort of mummy's boys and stuff like that. But, obviously leaving the family and stuff like that, I don't think it's that much of a big thing. It's obviously sad to leave your family, but, as I said, opportunity and stuff often isn't in the most convenient of places, and I'm really excited to get up to Brisbane and really have a fair crack at it. I'm sure my family will support me, wherever I am.
Well, we're wrapped to have you on board, and hopefully we can see you on the Gabba for many, many years to come, kicking heaps of goals. Welcome to the club, and thanks for joining us on the Fancast today.
Thanks very much for having me, guys. Appreciate it. Cheers.